Good afternoon. In my edition of the Two Legends by Liszt, the scores are actually accompanied by the stories that the music is based on. They're written in a kind of non-dramatic, biblical, deadpan kind of style. So I just want to take a minute or two to talk about ways that Liszt changes some things in the stories to kind of punch them up a little bit, make them a little bit more exciting, a little bit more dramatic. I'm going to talk only about the second legend, but if you're curious about the first legend or just have any questions in general, please find me afterwards and I'd be happy to elaborate. The story of the second legend in an abbreviated version goes like this. St. Francis of Paolo is traveling with some companions. They come to the Straits of Messina and wish to cross. There's a man with a boat, but he demands payment for the passage, and St. Francis has none. He asks that the boatman take him for the sake of charity, but the boatman refuses and takes off. St. Francis prays over his cloak for a miracle, spreads it on the waters. He and his companions stand on the cloak, ride across the straits, where they encounter the same boatman they just saw, who is now suitably abashed, and to deliver the moral, St. Francis gives him a little talking to about not being a very good Christian. Liszt does really two pretty simple things to this story to really up the ante. The first thing that he does is he strips the saint of his companions and his cloak. It's actually right in the title. It's not St. Francis and pals walking on the water or St. Francis riding on his cloak across the water. He puts the saint in direct contact with the elements and sets the stage for a titanic battle between God and nature. The second thing that Liszt does is he shifts the focus to the crossing. In the actual story, the crossing of the straits barely rates half a sentence. It is uneventful. All the action happens before or after the water. For Liszt, this crossing becomes a kind of terrifying and potentially deadly journey for the saint. The piece begins with a kind of walking music in the right hand, and kind of watery kind of music in the left hand. As the piece progresses, the water music gets more and more agitated, like the swells are starting to rise. And then, at one point, the hands actually switch roles. So now, the walking music is in the left hand, and the water music is in the right hand. And it's as if the waves are higher than the saint's head. And not long after that, the walking music disappears entirely. So it's as if the saint is now submerged. He's underwater and in danger of drowning. The water music gets more and more agitated. There are these surges of sound and a kind of tidal wave of octaves. And then from this wall of water bursts forth the saint, the walking music one more time, but now in a kind of super orchestral version representing the triumph of God in this battle over nature. So these are the two legends by Franz Liszt.